If you want to exterminate humanity, you must do it with style. Hey guys, welcome back to Covenant Canon, and today, I'll be counting down my picks for the top 5 Covenant ships in Halo. They don't have to be from the standalone Halo games, and they don't necessarily have to have been manufactured by the Covenant, only used by the Alien Empire and its successor states after its collapse in 2552. So the Sangheili starships from Halo 5 are eligible on this list. But before I begin, what's your favorite Covenant ship? The CSO, the CCS, the RCS, or the CPV? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, this is my top 5 Covenant ships in Halo. Number 5. The Sangheili Blockade Runner. A ship that predates the Old Covenant, the Hekar-Ta pattern Blockade Runner is a Corvette-class ship used by the Sangheili during their war with the Sangshayum, a war that brought about the formation of the Covenant. Resembling a carnivorous fish from St. Helios, the Blockade Runner was used in the early days of the Covenant, but it was quickly phased out. But 1,000 years later, with the Blood and Years depleting ships and resources, with endless skirmishes and battles, the Arbiter's Swords of St. Helios and Jul and Dama's Covenant upgrade these warships in order to replenish their navies. The modern-day Blockade Runner might not have the strongest armor platings, but where it lacks in protection, it more than makes up for with speed and powerful weapons. Number 4. The CCS Class Battlecruiser. To quote a famous Halo YouTuber, this is by far one of the most iconic Covenant ships in the Halo series. The CCS line has participated in numerous key events in Covenant history, be they one of peace or war. They were common warships in the Covenant Navy by the time of the Human Covenant War in the 26th century, functioning both as support vessels within fleet operations and participating in planetary invasions, raining down plasma storms on entire cities. But after the war ended in early 2553, these ships became a rare commodity for their sheer size and strength were targeted by Kikyar pirates and independent Covenant warlords, such as Merg Vol, Jul and Dama, and even Atriox. Since then, they were replaced by weaker Covenant ships, such as the CRS class light cruisers. But rest assured, the CCS will undoubtedly return to make history once again. Number 3. The CSO class supercarrier. Yes, I know what you all think. It's only an upsized version of a CAS. But I've always been fascinated by the CSO. It's one of the most powerful warships in the Covenant. The CSO is a supercarrier class warship that packs enough firepower for a small fleet. They were entrusted to the most prominent commanders within the Covenant, such as Zaitan Jar Watinri and Ro Barutami. The latter commanded one such ship, the Long Night of Solace, during the invasion of Reach, until it was destroyed during Operation Uppercut by the Spartan II, George. But 7 years after the Covenant War ended, one supercarrier is now in the possession of the Banished in late 2559. Whether or not this is a CSO is yet to be determined. But I can still dream, can't I? Number 2. The CAS Class Assault Carrier. Yet another iconic ship in Halo. The CAS was a powerful capital ship in the Covenant fleet at the height of its power. They typically served as flagships within flotillas or support vessels during large planetary invasions. They came in different variations, from the rarer Corel pattern to the more common Siphon pattern. The difference between these two patterns isn't really clear beyond simple appearance-wise. They were prominent during many large-scale engagements during the Covenant War, during the invasion of Reach, the Battle of Earth, and the Battle of the Ark. And after the Covenant fell apart, they became prize vessels to warlords such as the Hand of the Didact, Jul and Dama. and Atriox, War Master of the Banished. The most well-known assault carrier in the history of Halo has always been the Shadow of Intent, once the flagship of the Fleet of Retribution that participated in the Battle of the Ark on behalf of the Covenant Separatists, and now a prominent warship within the Swords of Sangheili's navy, commanded by the Arbiter's most trusted lieutenant, Artas Vadum, the Halfjaw. And as of now, the Halfjaw is leading the Shadow of Intent in pursuit of San Shayum war criminals to see if they are worthy of either punishment or atonement. And at number 1, the ORS Class Heavy Cruiser. First introduced in Halo First Strike, the ORS is the love child between the CAS and the CCS. Outfitted with stealth technology, these ships were made in the first centuries of the Covenant, used to combat many bloody civil wars. It was for this reason that they came to be greatly respected by the Sangheili, and were used to determine the fates of entire worlds and species. Throughout the course of the Human Covenant War, they were used as either support ships within large strike fleets, or even used as flagships within smaller Covenant flotillas. Due to their power and stealth capabilities, they made even veteran UNSC commanders nervous when they faced these warships in open battle. And following the war, they became invaluable to Covenant warlords. And a few years after the signing of the Treaty of 2552, these cruisers were made prominent in the Karo Civil War, with them being used as flagships by both the Sangheili Kaidan, Rajka Kesan, his rebellious cousin Thar Sarav, and the Jirohanai chieftain Hekabe, all with different ambitions, aims, and goals. By the end of the conflict, all of their ships were destroyed, but I have no doubt there are more ORSs out there in the galaxy, and I for one cannot wait to see where they might turn up.